Hi everyone, Matt Watson here from carwow. Now we all know that buying a used car is a great way to get some seriously flash wheels on the cheap. And Facebook Marketplace is actually one of the best places to go hunting for a new car. They'll have you looking a lot richer than you actually are. Now I've rounded up 15 of the best deals that I've found on Facebook Marketplace that prove that you don't need to spend big bucks for a killer set of wheels. If you want a new Tesla Model S, you're going to be looking at spending about £75,000. But I found this 6-year-old 85 model on Facebook and it's just £30,000. That's half what it cost new. Sure, this car's done nearly 120,000 miles and the 85 model isn't the fastest and doesn't get that ludicrous mode, but it can still do 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 5.2 seconds. So it'll blow the doors off most new cars you can buy for 30 grand.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off!
Which is what you'll pay for a new mid-level Nissan Leaf, FYI. It's also a pretty early Model S, so along with that massive touchscreen, panoramic glass roof and leather seats, you also get free supercharging, so you don't ever have to pay to fill it up with electricity, which is nice. There is one problem though. The Tesla Model S came 15th in my roundup of the least reliable cars you can buy. Most of its problems are electrical. Surprise, surprise. I can't turn it on. Next up is this Porsche Panamera. It's 11 years old and it's up for sale for just £18,990. That's about the same as a pretty basic Skoda Scala. This particular model is a 4.8 litre V8S with a PDK automatic gearbox. That means it's got 400 horsepower and can do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 5.6 seconds. Back when it was new, this car cost £81,000. So this used version with 84,000 miles on the clock saves you more than 62 grand. Whoever bought it didn't scrimp on the specification either. This car has the full optional leather interior, touchscreen with satellite navigation and heated everything, even the steering wheel. The Rolls-Royce Phantom is one of the most luxurious cars ever made. They're also pretty amazing value if you go for a used one. I found this 2012 Phantom with 57,000 miles on the clock for sale for £74,990. Now I know that sounds like a lot and it is, but this one comes with the rear seat entertainment pack, lamb's wool carpet and hidden champagne glasses. Now when it was new, the Phantom cost from £325,000 and obviously with the extras fit to this car, this one would have been a lot more. That means you're saving more than £250,000 on this car, and that's enough to buy a house, and houses don't usually come with a 6.75 litre V12 or 460 horsepower, and they don't have air suspension either. Actually, the air suspension is something to look out for on a second-hand Phantom. They weigh about 2.5 tonnes, so that puts quite a bit of stress on their undercarriage. It's very expensive to fix as well. The Porsche 911 is a great all-round sports car, and the most affordable version is the 996. This 2001 Carrera 4 is for sale on Facebook Marketplace for just £11,995. It's done 127,000 miles, so it is getting on a bit, but it costs £44,000 less than it did when it was new. Sure, the 996 is the least loved 911. I should know I've got one, but it's still a 911. And it can do 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. This particular car comes with a manual gearbox, which is actually more sought after than the automatic. It has full leather interior in 90s-tastic grey and Porsche embossing on the headrests just in case you've forgotten which car you bought. Just beware of part of the reason the 996 is so cheap. It's because their engines have a reputation for going bang. The Jaguar XJ Supersport is a limousine that will tempt you to give Jeeves the boot and drive for yourself. It comes with a 510 horsepower supercharged V8 and it'll do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.9 seconds. No wonder it cost almost £90,000 when it was new. However, this 2011 model with 107,000 miles on the clock is for sale for just £15,750. That's 70 grand less than it cost when it was new. And this one's no cheapskate entry-level car either. It comes with the optional rear entertainment pack, an upgraded Bowers & Wilkins stereo and carbon interior trim. Before you buy this car though, you should check that every electrical item on it works, as Jags can be plagued by electrical gremlins. Do you want to live out your James Bond fantasy? Well, I found this 57,000 mile 2012 Aston Martin V8 Vantage on Facebook Marketplace for £22,500, which is about the same as an entry-level Volkswagen T-Roc. Only the T-Roc doesn't get a 4.7 litre V8 with 420 horsepower, and it won't do 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds. Now, whoever bought this Vantage new clearly had a lot of money because they spent an extra 15 grand on options. It's fitted with stuff such as a carbon splitter, sports exhaust, and optional 19-inch alloy wheels. Just be warned if you're thinking about buying a Vantage. Its heater controls can break and they're very expensive to fix. And so are the bolts that adjust the wheel alignment. So make sure you check the tyres are wearing evenly before you buy one. Should be fine, probably. If that Aston's a bit too expensive for you and you still want a British V8, how about this Jaguar XK? It has a 300 horsepower 4.2 litre V8 that'll do 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds, yet costs just £7,995, which is £56,000 less than when it was new. It's actually the same price as a Dacia Sandero, which is the cheapest new car you can buy in the UK. Although, what would you rather have? This 2007 Jag has done 120,000 miles though, but the full leather interior looks mint, and it has heated seats, parking sensors and satellite navigation. You don't get any of that in the Dacia, FYI. One thing to remember though, the XK's gearbox is supposed to never need servicing, but it's best to buy a car where the gearbox has actually been checked around 80,000 miles, just to be safe, because it was built in Britain after all. When the Bentley Continental GT W12 came out, it cost £136,000. But I found this 2004 model on Facebook Marketplace for just under 17 grand, which is less than a new Hyundai i30 and a saving of almost £120,000 from new. Now this is pretty amazing when you consider the Bentley has a 560 horsepower 6-litre engine that's good for 190 miles an hour. This particular GT's done 84,000 miles, which isn't even that much. And it's got a full tan leather interior, walnut dash, Breitling cock, all the Bentley essentials. Be warned though, the Bentley Continental GT is plagued by electrical faults. Now if you click on the pop-out banner or follow the link below the video, you can watch my countdown of the world's most unreliable cars. You'll see the Continental GT there. The Phaeton is the poshest car Volkswagen has ever made. The Germans threw all their engineering might into it and fitted it with some seriously cool engines. This one comes with a V10 diesel engine and will do 0 to 60 in around 6.5 seconds. Now VW only made 25 right-hand drive V10 TDI long wheelbase Phaetons, so it's actually rarer than a Ferrari 250 GTO. Yet this 2005 model is up for sale for just £6,000. That's £47,000 less than it cost brand new. Okay, so it's done nearly 286,000 miles, but it does have heated massage seats all round, an adaptive cruise control, a TV receiver and automatic LED headlights, which were really quite rare back then. And in case you're interested, this particular car was actually owned by Shirley Bassey's chauffeur. The only real worry is that the Phaeton's V10 diesel engine was fitted to very few cars, so finding replacement parts ain't going to be cheap or easy. Want a limo that really flies? How about this Bentley Continental Flying Spur? You see what I did there? It has the same W12 engine as the Continental GT, so it'll do 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds, yet it can be yours for just under £15,000, which is £118,000 less than when it was new. Now this one's from 2005 and it's done 85,000 miles, but it gets cruise control and climate control, heated electric seats, loads of leather and satellite navigation. Watch out for leaking head gaskets and troublesome adaptive suspension though, or you could see your savings wiped out in repair bills. What if I said you could get a Lamborghini V10 engine for less than 9 grand? Well, you can, if you buy this 2007 Audi S8. It's on Facebook Marketplace for £8,995, which is 73 grand less than it cost when it was new. The S8 has a 450 horsepower version of the Gallardo's 5.2 litre naturally aspirated V10. And in the Audi, it can do 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. It also has adaptive suspension, soft closed doors and cruise control. The only problem is that servicing costs are high, as many simple tasks take ages because the engine is wedged in so tightly, bits have to be removed to be able to work on it. And this car's done almost 120,000 miles, so it's probably going to need a bit of engine work. Maybe that's why it's so cheap. The Mercedes-AMG S63 is an executive limo that can out-drag race sports cars. And this one is up for sale for just £11,400, which is 100 grand less than it cost when it was new. It's also less than you'll pay for a new Volkswagen Up. This one is a 2007 model with heated and cooled massage seats, a night vision system and double glazing. One word of warning though, if you're considering one of these S63s, watch out for white exhaust smoke and low coolant levels, as these could be signs that the cylinder head bolts have stretched, which can lead to severe and expensive engine issues. How's this for a bit of Italian luxury for the same price as a 5-star holiday in Tuscany? This 2006 Quattroporte GTS is for sale on Facebook Marketplace for just £8,500, which is a tenth of what it costs new. And this is no ordinary Quattroporte either. It's the GTS model, so it has a 4.2 litre naturally aspirated V8 with 440 horsepower and will do 0 to 60 miles an hour in less than 5 seconds. It does have an odd blue interior though, which you could actually probably use to help negotiate the price even lower. Now this particular car's only done 78,000 miles and it's had a £4,000 respray. Just be careful though, because early Quattroporte models have a habit of eating through the clutches in their automatic gearbox. That's very, very expensive to fix. A big V8 powered Range Rover is a pretty serious status symbol, but you can actually pick up old ones for buttons. For instance, this 2003 car with 124,000 miles on the clock is on Facebook Marketplace for just £3,200. That's 65 grand less than when it was new. This one has the full leather interior and has just had its air suspension and gearbox serviced, which is handy because this model of Range Rover is notorious for expensive air suspension and gearbox issues. If you want a luxury used V8 that's cheap yet shouldn't ruin you with repair bills, then how about this 2005 Lexus LS 430? It's a technology-packed Japanese Mercedes S-Class.
It's like the Japanese Mercedes.
With a 4.3 litre V8. This particular car is on sale for just £2,700, which is 68 grand less than what it costs new. And back then, it was a pretty high-tech car. It had electrical adjustment for almost everything, satellite navigation, and a pretty sizable infotainment screen. Maintaining and repairing an older car like this is usually very expensive, but Lexus makes some of the most reliable cars ever, so it shouldn't turn into a total money pit, even though this one's done 161,000 miles.